they deserve it, or if I feel like it, or if they've earned it, whatever, then I'll forgive them, right? It's so easy for us to get sucked into that culture. Does a person deserve my forgiveness? That's a question that we wrestle with. Well, let me show you what Paul says in Ephesians 4:17, and actually it's 4:17, and then I'm going to skip down to 32. But in this, Paul's talking about living differently, and listen to what he says. Now this I say, and I testify in the Lord, that you must no longer walk as the Gentiles do in the futility of their minds. And he goes into talking about a bunch of different things, but then he wraps it up by saying this. Instead, be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you. It's an awesome passage. It goes on to say, therefore, be imitators of God. And what did God do? He forgave. See, we can't justify living like the Gentiles do, or in our culture, like the rest of the world, people who don't know Jesus. There's no excuse to hold on to unforgiveness in God's kingdom, to understand this, to grasp it, to take hold of it. But the problem is, man, forgiveness is hard. Like, if we're honest, it's messy. It's not comfortable for me to approach forgiveness when someone has caused me pain. And when I'm feeling the effects of that pain, maybe still. But again, if we are unwilling, we're not hearing our King. And do you think our mess is any to? I mean, think, it's just us. He had to step into it all. Every person, everywhere. And sometimes we think, I don't want to forgive someone because it feels like I'm either, just kind of pushing to the side what they did to me, or even approving of their actions. If they don't feel the pain that I feel, then they're just going to think it's not a big deal. We can wrestle with that thought. That's what the culture wrestles with. That's not the culture of the kingdom, though. Or we can say, you know what? I'll forgive you. I'll put a Band-Aid over it. But inside, we're being corrupted by toxic unforgiveness. There's broken bones that Band-Aids don't fix. Do you understand? So we can't just cover it up and act like it's not there. Kingdom people have a willingness to step into it and say, King, I need your help, but I know I'm